It seems like both Gojo and the SP buffs is actually going to be happening in the next couple of days for JJK Phantom Parade. And, it's 2 a.m. I was like, I'm going to wait up. Was playing Bleach Soul Resonance anyway. Very good game. And, well, they confirmed that we're going to be getting some news regarding JJK Zero. And we're going to go through a series of logical conclusions to then reach how pretty much everyone at the current moment is believing that we're going to be getting JJK Zero Gojo. So, here we go. Now, they posted this. They quote retweeted, first of all, the JJK Zero, or the JJK account talking about JJK Zero. They're doing a live stream on YouTube. We could check it out. I think it's at 6:05 a.m. EST tomorrow in 27 hours from when I'm recording this. So, unfortunate a bit. I wish it was today. Is what it is. So what did they say on the 17th at the opening day stage greeting? New info about Phantom Parade will be revealed. The revealed info will be gradually shared on the official X account, so don't miss it. Now, gradually shared to me screams that we're getting pretty hype info slash a good amount of information. Gradually shared would imply that there's more things than one thing coming out. So SP buffs, new unit, and towers probably going to be the three things that are going to be focused on. I think that would make the most amount of sense. Now we could also check here. So, along with movie JJK Zero release first day meeting, new info for JJK Phantom Parade, and the info is planned to revealed on Twitter as well. They retweeted the live stream, so most likely something JJK Zero related. Estimated period of the live stream is 40 minutes, so we should get it by 6:45 a.m. EST, which to me is a fine scheduling, to be honest. So now we could talk about, well, what does this imply? What does this mean? Well, first of all, we know that Tower is going to be coming out before the 17th, since Tower is shown then, right before the 17th here. So if it's before the 17th with the JJK Zero, it means it's either coming before or with the update of JJK Zero on the 17th. So Tower, we're going to be getting on Friday, or I guess would be Friday or Saturday, right? Probably more so Saturday, but we'll have to see what exactly that's going to be looking like. I think they did actually. Oh, I closed it by accident, but I think they're doing a maintenance. So whenever whenever the maintenance is done on the 18th is probably when Tower is going to be out. So it's on the 18th, not the 17th, I guess, which doesn't really matter. So this is the biggest thing that people need to keep in mind, is that people always like to forget this, but we saw the three previous SSRs come from this image, and JJK Zero Gojo is one of the four SSRs on this. And guess what? We have Blue Ghetto, we have Red YUTA, and we have Blue Miguel. So what does that mean? Guess what? Gojo is also on this image. So most likely we're going to be getting Gojo. If we're getting JJK Zero, we're getting a new unit. Well, we're getting a new SSR banner. Most likely a new unit, because pretty much most map events have had new units. If JJK Zero is going to be getting enough events to tease new information and sequentially release information, right? Like they're saying here that it's what is it? Did it say it here, or am I tweaking? I guess it was here. But if it's going to be gradually shared, my guess, yeah, I don't know what happened to the wiki, but my guess is it will in fact be a JJK Zero Gojo coming out on Saturday. So it should be Saturday, his release. And I mean, it's honestly pretty exciting. I mean, I theorized it. Most people thought it. I mean, it's not something that is coming out of left field. We've kind of had this idea of JJK Zero Gojo since the JJK Zero rerun was going to be in October for a while now, right? And red Gojo, if it's red, I think the two colors that are possible is red, because we could get a Gojo as a DPS for red instead, or it's gonna be blue. I think blue is also possible, because Blue Gojo is just not really that good anymore. So because of that, this new Gojo could maybe either stay for like 17 turns or like more turns, or it could just be where, like, I don't know, he leaves early still, and maybe he's like still super strong, but maybe he could like extend his turns. Maybe he's baseline there for 12 turns, but he could extend his turns. We'll have to see. I don't know, but we pretty much know now that I mean, I would say because of this, they made it pretty clear that these are the SSRs. We got Miguel, now it's time for Gojo. So I think that's pretty much number one thing. So what will Gojo be doing? So first of all, Gojo himself is probably going to be, he's going to be a DPS, right? First of all, he's going to be doing some type of damage. I could see in a way he's going to be like Choso. First of all, he's going to be limited since every JJK 0 unit is limited. But my guess is personally that he's going to either do a damage debuffing, damage increase debuff or a stat buff, right? So it's possible, right? We've only had 2 stat buffer SSRs, but the third stat buffer could be a sub DPS stat buffer. They could always change it up like they did with Teen Nanami technically. So my guess personally is JJK 0 Gojo is going to be a sub DPS doing Taijutsu and Jujutsu type of damage on different attacks. That's going to lead into him doing stat buffs or damage increase debuffs for blue. So one of the two is what he's going to do. Whatever it is, it's going to be fine. I would rather a stat buffer because right now blue buff is really not in a good spot. But we'll have to see what exactly this Gojo is looking like. I think that just getting Gojo in general would be pretty exciting. I mean, listen, it makes sense that we get Gojo now for JJK 0, right? Now, there's another part to it. If there's going to be a lot of information gradually shared, then what if we get SP buffs? I think SP buffs are also very likely. So, you know, number one is going to be YUTA. Of course, he's been in the game since December 2023. And same with JJK 0, GETO, or GETO if you want. These are the 2 units that I think will be getting SP buffs. Now, Miguel would be nice, but maybe they'll give it to someone else, or maybe it is Miguel. It could be. It could be. But for YUTA, there could be a lot that could happen. I mean, if he needs basically 2 things. Number one, remove this alt cooldown. If you remove this alt cooldown, remove this CE, maybe give more stat buffs to like 20 or 30% here, then YUTA actually will be very good. And for GETO, I think on his alt, it needs to, first of all, do way more damage. Number 2, not reduce his CE at all. Like at all, okay? Please don't even reduce it at all, okay? Maybe give him extra CE recovery by like 20 or like by 10 extra per turn, and then increase these debuffs, right? Like they could do a couple different things. I don't know what, but they gotta find some things. Maybe like just don't decrease CE, and then on the skill 2 make the CE requirement lower and then make him debuff more, I think is what they could do. Make him do more damage, make him debuff more. But Yuta is the one I really care about. Fuck GETO, right? Especially since we already have Kamo and Inumaki. Doesn't really matter. Maybe they could also make GETO's alt debuff so that you don't feel kind of clunky with his debuffs, right? Same with Kamo. Him and Kamo suffer from their alts only being pure damage, where Inumaki continues the debuff, which is so beautiful. So yeah, GETO could get that. YUTA could get alt cooldown removal, and then maybe a complete revamp on this I Won't Let You Die passive, and then we could get those 2 SP buffs. So I think we're going to be getting, tomorrow, we should get confirmation for Tower. Pretty much about a day from now, we're going to be getting confirmation for Tower. If it's 10 or 20 floors, keep in mind, the 10 here just means the date. It just means October. That's it. So we're going to be getting Tower. We're going to be getting a unit most likely from JJK 0 Gojo, from JJK 0 the rerun. Now, is it confirmed 110% going to be JJK 0 Gojo? No. But because of the track record of them doing GETO and YUTA going into Miguel, I think it's pretty much confirmed that it's going to be Gojo. It also tracks because the last Gojo was almost 6 months ago, which they've been very consistent with a Gojo almost every 6 months. And if he's not going to be 0.2 domain Gojo during anniversary, it's going to be this Gojo. So we're going to be getting Gojo. Almost like, I'd say like 95% chance. If it's not Gojo, I'd be very surprised. However, if it's not Gojo, bare minimum, give us the SPs for YUTA, GETO, and then maybe Miguel, and I'm fine with that. Maybe even more than that. But, you know, we're looking good. A lot of exciting stuff incoming. Gojo's probably going to be some type of sub DPS or full-on DPS. We'll have to see. I hope he's a sub DPS. That's a stat buffer. But what are they going to do for calling games? If this is a new unit, guys, what are they doing for calling games?